Well, what's up, everyone? Welcome into the Titans sector. If you're a Titans fan, this is the place to be. The takes are usually hot, the opinions sometimes collide. And we appreciate you guys joining us today. We have a special guest, the one and only Zach Cohen, as you see, has decided to grace us with his presence once again. Zach, thank you so much for carving out of your incredibly busy schedule and choosing to spend a little bit of your evening with both TJ and I on the Titan sector. I mean it when I say this, it means a lot to us. So thank you so much for that. And yeah, we got a great episode, man. We love this so much that we decided to drop it a day early. That's how much we love it. So with that said, TJ, why don't you roll us out and kick this thing off?
All right, man. So the first thing, it's been a minute since we talked to you. We had you on one other time. So how have you been, man? How has the last month been, considering that the rivalry's just released?
My goodness. I mean, just leading up to the rivalry. Well, all right. First off, thanks for having me again. Like I always say, just been a joy, like talking and getting to know Titans fans throughout the last year or so with all the uniform and logo stuff. It's been really great, even getting to be out there in Nashville for the uniform release. Loved talking with everyone there. So I'm happy to be here now. It's been a pretty busy day, man. I should have shot up with a vial of testosterone or something to keep up with it. It's been a whirlwind, but a good whirlwind. A lot moving, a lot of different things going on. Not that anyone cares. I did a lot of travel this summer, which was great, knowing that nice. I would be losing all of my hair on a day like today. So I'm happy to talk about it all. I'm just finally, I feel relieved that it's all here. Can't even begin to imagine what the teams feel like, because these teams have been working on these uniforms for over 2.5 years.
Oh, yeah.
So they've known about this for a while. And here we are just reacting to them,
Absolutely. Yeah, so 100%. I saw something the other day. I'm going to mention it. You cut a little bit of a stray, I feel like, when you said something about AI slop and somebody took it personal. Did you see that?
No. What happened?
There was a Titans media guy that you said something about AI slop. And
rightfully so.
He took super personal. And he was like, oh, no. He's like, yeah, it was. I thought maybe you've seen it. If you didn't see it, it's fine. It's just not worth going to check it out.
Well, okay, I'll check it out.
It's something cute. I guess it cued off a conversation. And maybe somebody mentioned him because he did create probably what would be considered
Yeah, look, I'll go ahead and tell you, Zach, right now, spoiler alert. He's in the Titans community, and I totally disagree with how he handled it. So just say
same.
Oh man, I didn't mean.
You didn't even drop his name that I saw, by the way, Zach. Which is what's crazy to me. I was like, well, that guy literally just inserted himself into the conference.
It's a hot time, man. It's a hot time. The emotions were high all day today. So, that's just to be expected.
Look, I'm very anti-AI. It must have been, I'm trying to think. I mean, I'm sure if I look at my Twitter, I'll be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. If someone made an AI concept, I try my best not to even touch it. And the last thing I'm going to say is be like, oh, you suck. This is a terrible concept.
You did it. You actually did it. The thing that you said, and it was actually true. You said, keep an eye out for AI slop. It tends to screw up the NFL logo and something else. And then somebody shared it. We won't say his name.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. I apologize to whoever that was. So wait. All right. I don't want to detract, but apologies to whoever that was. Wait. So it wasn't an AI concept?
Yeah, it was like an AI mock. Yeah. No, and this particular person pumps out the AI stuff pretty.
Okay.
It really looks like he goes in and says, "Hey, make a Titans uni with Navy," and then it just spits out whatever spits out, and he seems to instantly post it.
I know that there were a lot of people in my mentions and DMs sending me leaks of, I think, the Texans uniform.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is AI. I think that's where it came from. I don't know, man.
So I think
seriously, I'm sorry to whoever.
That's what we're about here, Zach. We're about bringing people together.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying.
We're gonna build it up.
Definitely.
I appreciate that. I think your PSA was warranted. So good job there.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, people were convinced by that Texans AI one. It was all blue and white. I don't know if you saw that one. And it overall generally looked kind of convincing. But the logo was real bad. Like the eye wasn't a star. There was some jaggedy going on the logo.
Oh, yeah, that's all right. Yeah, that blew up my phone. I'm like, this is come on, guys. So I definitely, I tweeted out like beware of like AI. I don't know. It wasn't like a personal shot at anyone.
It's a good disclaimer. It needs to be said.
The only AI I support is Allen Iverson.
Oh, I like that. That's a good drop, dude. That's a good drop.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
That ends the whole conversation.
Who uses AI in their jobs and everything. That's just my personal belief.
I like it, dude.
I like it.
We're talking about practice? All right, go ahead, TJ. I'm sorry.
Oh, no worries, man. So the first topic we're going to talk about, and we decided to keep it just small. So what was your top 3 marketing campaigns in the past week, the teasing and all that stuff, when it really ramped up? And why are they your top 3?
There were so many good ones. I mean, the Detroit Lions teaser video for this was fantastic. And the Colts set design in their teaser video was also just like great. I don't really have a bad thing to say about any team's like marketing campaign or rollout. I know for a fact, like I might be going against the intended audience here. I thought the Texans have done a really good job. Not just the rollout, not just with the uniforms, but all the messaging and the social assets that they went with. Their video was so cool. Some people saying AI was in that. I couldn't really tell if that's the case, shame. But like, regardless, I thought it looked so good.
The tile one was clean. It was very crispy. You know what? I'm going to have some things to say about the uni later, but
save it.
The one with the tiles, like the car drove by and the tiles like clicked in.
Yes.
Everything, the audio design was really good. The tiles, it was clean. I got to give them props for that.
Yeah. I really love the Vikings Field the North campaign. And, it's kind of interesting because last year, I think every team had a specific theme. Like the Colts did Anvil Black this year. Cardinals had like the Desert Storm. Not every team seemed to do that this year. Like Houston's was H-Town. Tennessee had Music City. Jacksonville was Fortune Favors the Bold. Bears was Monster. I think Monsters the Midway.
Monsters the Midway, yeah.
Yeah, Vikings was Field of North. I don't know if the Packers had one off the top of my head, but I thought like their rollout was also great. The photo shoot of the players in Lambeau Field. Sometimes, right, we got to see the uniforms on the field. How often do we say that,
Right.
Yeah.
But I thought they looked so good. The Vikings too, man. Field of North. I thought the rollout and just with all the Viking tie-ins, it's so easy to do it, and they executed that perfectly.
Their number font on those rivalries is crispy, dude. So I really like it.
I just need the decal or it's a stripe on the helmet.
Yeah.
Connect. I just needed to connect that's the only thing I think I'm stuck up on this point. But because I don't want to get into a future conversation here, but I think overall this was a really good set. I think all the marketing campaigns did a good job.
Yeah.
The Titans as well. The Titans, even with their primary uniforms, man, they did such a good job of like laying out the different typefaces and the logo slicks and all the fonts and the color shades and things like that they did again for these uniforms. So props to them as well. Props all around. I read a lot of good stuff, specifically with the Vikings and the Colts. They put out a lot of good behind-the-scenes content today. Other teams did as well. But the Vikings and the Colts really gave me some stuff to dive into that I think sheds some light on more about these processes and what the uniforms mean moving forward for the rest of the league, because we still have 16 more rivalries uniforms that come out over the next 2 years.
Yeah.
So if anything, today just made me more excited. If you had to pick a 3, I mean, I guess I'd go with Titans, Vikings, and Texans.
Nice.
I got a follow-up question here, TJ, because something you said in there struck a chord with me because I had a similar thought today, and I want to see your perspective on it.
Yeah.
The rollout of these Nike rivalry uniforms this year felt a bit different than last year.
Yes.
It felt different in its pacing from how they rolled it out, and even somewhat, like you mentioned, the messaging behind the uniforms, and somewhat, in my opinion, the pure design of the uniforms. It almost seems that they push the envelope a little less. And now maybe that's just my perspective, but I kind of wanted to see what your thoughts were on that.
I have had the exact same conversation with two different people behind the scenes today, exactly about that. And it's not a shot at anyone, but it does make me wonder. So Nike designs the uniform, but like to them, that's really just like the manufacturing and designing the jerseys and the pants. The NFL is their own design team for the helmets. So while they're separate processes, they're collaborative. And everyone I've ever talked to, and like I don't even think this is like a secret at this point, the Rivalries uniforms were pretty damn profitable last year for NFL teams.
I would say so.
It makes me wonder if Nike saw the revenue and was like, and this is purely speculation, and this is what I've talked about. And they're like, all right, like we didn't get as much of that dough as we had hoped for. We'll just, either A, lean out of it a little bit, or B, we'll give more the creative rollout freedom to the teams. And I thought the teams did a good job because they also noticed the same thing. Last year, we got like that uniform template, I guess standardized uniform template with the same type of teaser and the same type of jersey template overall. And that's kind of been like the North Star image we've been working towards for this year's batch. We didn't get that this year. We did get, the leak this morning from the Fox News article of all of the jerseys in a picture frame, which again, I thought was really cool, just different than last year. And people obviously flipped out seeing just the jersey, more than just a jersey when it comes to a uniform, as we all know. But I did notice that as well. I think the teams have all done a really good job. It's really easy to call out and see when teams don't lean into their new uniform. I can think of a certain NFL team this offseason that released something new and really didn't post as much about it as other uniforms have gotten posted about in the past. I think we all know which one I'm talking about. But for the most part, I thought all the teams have done really well, and even the properties. I had Toro and I had Blue, so Texans and Colts mascots. Interact with some of my tweets today too.
Nice.
So,
that's awesome.
Shoot, man, I'm forgetting the raccoon's name.
T-Rack. Yeah.
T-Rack. Okay. T-Rack, I'm waiting for your like, man. Or woman. Yeah.
You heard it, T-Rack. Get to work. I'm going to post that as a short. We're going to make that happen, Zach.
Okay. I liked his update, or her update, I will say. I thought it's a clean look. Sure.
I like it too. Yeah. A lot of people that looks like a furry. I'm like, it was a furry. What are we talking about?
Man, talking about furries and Jaguar spot pants today.
Oh, we'll get there. Yeah, we'll get there. That was one thing. That was a contentious change. Go ahead, TJ.
Oh no, I was just going to say one thing about relevant to that conversation. One thing I liked about the rollout this year is it kind of not having that Nike corporate template based rollout. It kind of had some personality to it that was maybe missing last year, which I kind of liked.
Yeah, it's always a thing when like the teams get that creative freedom back. A lot of people are going to point to like one singular party just kind of driving this, but really the teams, just like with like the primary uniforms, I've talked so much about this, so the Falcons, the Ravens, like them being the driving forces. That seems to, again, be the case for the rivalries. The Patriots last year did a really good job with their behind-the-scenes info. And it's the same story this year, with the Vikings and the Colts and what they told us publicly is like the teams are the driving force. So maybe it's just easier for Nike to say, you know what, like you guys can drive most everything else. And again, not a bad thing, not a shot. I think, man, like I thought it was a really good rollout this year. The leaks were for the most part pretty airtight to the general public. Well, yeah.
I see what you're doing.
Caught it.
I'm talking about.
I don't either.
I want to go ahead and bring this in here. So we're going to talk next about the AFC South specifically, since we are Titans Pod. And we're going to go ahead and start with the Jags, and kind of what was your take of the Jags? And me and Van can also chime in a little bit.
I think separately, each asset is really good. I like the pants. I actually like the jersey, and even like the pictures of the players in them, like the retail versions of them, and just like the up close details of the jersey and the stitching and how the colors complement each other. I like. even that picture of the helmet just right there, you know, when I heard about it being teal and gold, it was, I'm like, all right, that actually sounds pretty good. But I don't know if I love it together. Again, maybe that changes. I saw a couple behind the scenes photo shoot pics of Trevor Lawrence in the full uniform, and the lighting was hitting it just right, where I'm like, all right, maybe. But together, I really don't know. And it's kind of like the inverse of the Colts, which we can talk about more in a sec, of course, where like the Jaguars have a lot of good things put together. Like, is it too much? Whereas the Colts, I really have nothing to nitpick about, but is it enough to compare to some of the other uniforms that I thought did like very well? So
yeah.
But again, man, like, God, like the Jaguars social team, dude, deserves so many props. Like, I was looking at these assets for so long and just the information on them. Like, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was my take. Like, it's a bit much. It's kind of overwhelming for a rivalry reveal. You know what I mean? I think the script word mark is very cool. A little bit jealous. I was hoping that the Titans would do a raised patch for the TriStar on the shoulder or something cool like that. They went with the strings. The vibrating strings is a very cool touch, though. So that we got a little consolation prize there. But I think I agree with you as far as like, is it too much? Like, it is a lot. It almost looks, I don't know. Also, maybe you can explain this. Why does in some pictures it looks straight white, but it's like supposed to be a cream, right? Like, am I losing my mind?
Alabaster. I had not heard of this color shade previously until recently, and like it is a cream. Yeah, it's just kind of how it is. You know, it'll look white in some. It's how lighting does. These teams, they test the uniforms under different shades of lighting, different environments. They look at it on TV. They look at it on a screen. They do it again all in the retail jerseys. So, is it a knock on the jersey? I really don't think so. I'd imagine that 70% of people watching these when they're officially worn for the first time will see them as white. And that's fine. I like that at least they decided to do something bit of an off-white. And I think, honestly, I'm really coming around to like these off-white shades we've seen a lot of with these programs the last 2 years. So, yeah, you know, just lighting to sum it up.
Alabaster,
go ahead.
I was going to say Alabaster making a comeback from the 1940s now into 2026.
I didn't know you were that old.
Which is good. Yeah, I am. I wear it very well, though, I feel like.
No.
After today's interactions on social media, I feel that old.
Oh, gosh.
I got
a bunch of Texan fan friends today.
Yeah, we made a lot of new fans, man. I got to throw my hat in the ring on this Jaguars thing because I just got to, man. To me, they're in the bottom 2 of all 8 that were released. I just think it's way too much. Like when I look at it, like you said, Zach, there's pieces of what they did that I can admire. I don't necessarily mind the teal helmet. The logo placed on there for some odd reason feels a little washed to me on that teal, and that just solid teal is very strong. When you mix it, and you got 4 things going on. You got black pants, white jersey, teal helmet, gold face mask. It is a lot to swallow all at one time. And I don't know, man. I can appreciate what they were doing with the printed pants. And it is understated. I don't think you'll see it on your TV screen unless you get some close-up shots. But man, I just see Lululemon, and I just can't get over it. You know, and maybe that's a tacky thing to say.
Oh.
And unlike TJ, I and maybe you, I don't like the number font. I think it just is just out of place. I don't know.
I don't, when I first saw the jersey, I'm like, I don't know if I love this number font, but looking at it up close, I like it. But like, yeah, this definitely, I've been tweeting all day. This is going to be the uniform that is really going to need to take some time for it to settle in.
For sure.
A black helmet shell, I think, could have, really just made it look more cohesive, or even keeping the teal shell and going with an alabaster pants. I saw some people say maybe black helmet and teal pants. And I'm like, I don't really know if you want a triple mismatch like that on a white, because I look at some teams, like for example, like the Broncos, like they have that the navy matte, they have their white jersey and the orange pants. And I think like for the most part, I'm like content with it, but there are other uniform combos in that closet that I prefer. So it kind of goes back to this being like, if you're gonna do a triple mismatch, probably not the best idea to make your jersey color the lighter of the three shades.
Right. That's what hit me. All right, TJ, what else you got?
In my defense, I said I like the word mark, not the number font.
That's true.
The word mark is pretty clean.
The word mark is clean.
That.
The word mark is clean.
The word mark is nice. I'm sorry. You're right. I'm still hungover from today.
Yes. So we're going to move on to the next one. I sandwiched them.
Oh boy.
So
can I put out a PSA real quick?
Let's hear it.
I have no comments about the Houston Texans, Oilers, Tennessee Titans, Oilers identities. I refuse to partake. If it kind of feels like I'm like the child of like divorced parents and they're fighting custody over it. So with that said, I'm all ears. I think I know what direction y'all are going to go in, but I'm going to just stick to what it is and what it means to the city. And that's all I got to say.
I'm proud of you, Zach.
Yeah.
Good job.
I'm going to stay out of this one. The feud. I see it. Oh my gosh. I have one video I posted probably around when the season ended, talking about like the Titans new uniforms. And I still get comments on it from like Texans and Titans fans arguing over all of it. And I'm just sitting there like, I mean, I appreciate the engagement for sure, but golly, man, just let it go.
Right. Yeah. No, we have trouble with that. TJ, what are you leading off on this, man?
So I was also going to avoid that talk because I'm kind of the stance of I kind of like know what like the ownership or whatever came here, all that. The whole story's been told many thousand times. There's other teams similar to it. So my take on these Oilers, geez Louise, these Texans
didn't avoid
uniforms.
Oh, nice.
They've been fidgeting with this the whole time. Yeah.
Pocket Pro, baby. He's always got a Pocket Pro. But now.
I always got props. Come on.
I like the tiles. I understand what it means for their city. I have this weird issue with the hollow logos. I don't know that it would translate well to the TV. I think on like when it's on the field and you're watching TV, I think it'll have not quite as bad, but the Buffalo Bills rivalries last year, how almost everything got washed out. I feel like it might be that way this year. These numbers are not getting washed out, by the way. We could watch them from the moon and they're not going to get washed out. They are thick. But another thing is I think the colors are carrying it a lot. There's some, you can't really see them here, but the way they handled the logos on the stripes, it almost looks just plastered on top of it. But in a, to me, rough shot way. There's nothing breaking it off. It's just like on top of the stripe. As a matter of fact, the Texan on the helmet, it's like right down the back. It's like right in the center. There's a Texan main logo, like right on the back. And it feels congested in there with the NFL logo and the stuff like that. Love the colors, though, for obvious reasons. Well, what's your take?
No, that's a really good point about the white logo because I admittedly I love this helmet. This is a trend that I predicted years ago that we're going to see a lot different types of finish, not just on the helmets, but throughout the uniform. And the Texans, wow, almost called them the Titans. The Texans going with a lot of clearly they have like these candy paint and chrome finishes throughout the uniform. I think just looks fantastic. And I think on the helmet, it's so much more apparent where you have that type of shell. And then the chrome finish on the face mask. Like it really look electric under the right lighting, but it's not like too overpowering to the rest of the uniform. And then they do have the sliver of red. Like there were a lot of people who wanted the Titans helmet to basically have the red stripe with the two light blue and then light blue like that. That is a good point about the helmet logo, though. I don't, I'm curious now if when I look at it, especially when they wear them for the first time, if my opinion will change at all. I am kind of with you, I guess, if I had to say about I'd rather the have like a colored filled out logo on a uniform as opposed to like the white shell of it. But overall, I don't think it detracts from what it is. The tile block pattern, I was a little nervous if it was going to be too overbearing, but I think they did a really good job. I have no problem with the font. I think it's reflective enough. And some people hate all white, but like I think they did a really good job with this.
Yeah. I think they nailed their intent. I think the intent was to really kind of go with like a snow out kind of like all white type of deal going on there.
Space City, yeah.
Yeah. And also, I think this is not their fault because both of their logos are like, you got the Gothic black letter font for the H, and then their Texans logo is very curvy. It's very contrasting. Like there's a lot of disparity between the tiles, straight lines, and the fonts, straight lines, and those. But that's the logos they're working with. They couldn't fix that.
That's the graphic. That's the graphic designer in you talking, man.
Yeah, I can't stop talking about this.
No, you're bringing up some great points about like the different vibes that like these different designs, you know, make us feel. And I am like thinking about some certain things. I don't think I'll knock this down. I think this is probably one of the better rivalries uniforms of both batches.
It's strong. Don't get me wrong, especially the candy. I like what you're saying about the candy finishes. It is a nice change of pace from past years.
The helmet is so good. It might be my second favorite helmet of the whole batch.
Yeah, one thing for me after I spent the whole day taking arrows and flames on X, but TikTok, I will say this. I agree, man. I think that their team nailed their intent with what TJ was saying. I don't hate the uniforms for what they are, man. I really don't. I think it's a clean uniform. It's hard to go wrong with white, triple white, and then that blue and that red color. You know, they leaned in, like you said, to that metallic aspect, that candy type aspect, both on the shoulder stripe there with the red, with the face mask. So it's really difficult, right, to really nitpick. Anything I nitpick on X is because of the history and the camaraderie between the two fan bases. But what I will say that stands out to me, and this is as unbiased as I can be, I understand living in Huntsville, Alabama now, which has a big NASA presence, that Houston leans into the number font of NASA, which typically is more a larger type, bubblier looking font. But to me, the numbers are so massive on this. Like when I first saw that Fox News leak of the fashion of the young man leaned up in his car, the number was like curved around the side of his rib cage. And I thought this is AI, man, because there's no way those numbers are that big. And it doesn't look bad with solo numbers, but when you have when I saw some of the press releases of their players, like Derek Stingley, I believe, and they had the dual numbers, it was pretty big. And then personally, I'm not a fan of the H-Town logo. I'm cool with how they're doing, but I find it so unattractive, and it has nothing to do with my fandom of the Titans. I just don't like it. The rest of that helmet, I think they pulled off really well. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, no, there you go. I'm like looking at it, like, man, like my first instinct, the first thing I saw with the leaks today, that jersey collage was, man, they really let teams choose whatever font they wanted for these numbers, huh?
100%.
The whole roll of calligraphy right there.
It was all over the place.
But you aren't the first person to bring up the size. And I got to be honest, like, I don't think I have an issue with big numbers. Someone specifically pointed out, like, yo, look how big the numbers are in the Vikings jersey. I'm like, yeah, that's a good point. But I think especially with NBA jerseys, there are some times, because those jerseys, man, like some of those numbers, college basketball too, like some of the jersey numbers are like right up to like the rib cage. They're so small. So I'd rather think that the numbers are too big than too small.
I agree.
But I don't know. Maybe like one thing is that because it doesn't have an outline on it, it might look like a little bigger. Maybe a red outline would have been pretty nice on these jersey numbers, actually. But I get what they did, so that's a good point too.
Yeah, absolutely. That would have worked. All right, we moving on to Indianapolis.
Yeah, man. What do you think, Zach?
I hate it. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's another one of those things where it's like, man, this is going to be a really tough team to pull off. I do not like their Indiana Knights uniform at all. Yeah. I think separately, it's a good look. Like, finally, the Colts have a blue shell. Like, whatever. Rather it be with a white face mask. Yeah. The fact that it's metallic, that's probably going to look really dang good. So I like the helmet. And then even the jersey too, it's like did they need this? Was this necessary? No, but I can't really find any other reason to nitpick it. This color aside, and I'm not a fan of like any form of gray for the most part. I say that I'm wearing a Seahawks rivalries jersey, not a Seahawks fan, and just gift from Seattle. But like, I have no problem with it. I think their use of like metallic and high shine finishes are really good. That's the first time ever a horseshoe's on a Colts jersey, which I thought was really cool. It will look different on retail. Like that thing's going to be right down here and it, leave a lot of space between there. But I honestly don't have a problem with it. I think it'll be interesting because I've seen people talk about how different the colors of the uniform look under lighting, like more so than any other team I've seen thus far in this batch. And even last year's batch were like, in some pictures, that dark gray looks black. Other pictures, that dark gray, like more of a light gray. And I really hope it doesn't look like a light gray when it's under Lucas Oil Stadium, because then it's just going to look kind of depleted. The black face mask is going to stand out a bit more. So it's just one of those things. Like, I don't know if there really is enough to elevate this to the top, but I really don't have a big glaring issue with these. And I actually like the number font a lot as well, which I know we can't see here, but I was worried it was going to be very similar to the Indiana Knights uniform, and it just is not. So I give them props as well for this.
TJ, I'm going to go Hollywood Squares here and let the graphic designer and the smart guy talk first and last, so I'll go in the middle, okay? But I actually, this one's far simpler for me. I actually like what they did with the helmet. I agree with everything you said on the helmet, Zach, and I think also with the white face mask, it would have stood out. I love the metallic finish on it. I think that's a really good look for them. But my simple takeaway is, I heard, I think it was Alec Pierce, one of their players on TikTok, and the videos that they were putting out, that he said, hey, that's the first time the shoe's been on the uniform. So that's kind of a cool little thing for the history of their team. I obviously didn't know that, but I'm just not a fan of the gray. It's like the Bills uniform that came out with the alternate helmet that just is so crazy to me. That gray on gray is really tough. And I just am not a fan of that stack, but I agree with everything else you said in regards, like the font looks good. I think for what they wanted to do, they probably pulled it off, to perfection in their eyes. So kudos to them. I mean, it was pretty simple. It's a simple one to me.
Yeah. And it's always going to be a fascinating, thing to discern the reactions from fans and players, because, players have to really test this stuff out. They have to like wear it, like the different types of sleeve design and like what's on the sleeves. The size of the numbers does impact a player's comfortability in their uniforms. It might not be like a long-term thing. But when they first put it on, you can tell the difference. Sometimes there's a range of motion that's different. I don't really think that's the case with Indianapolis, but I think a lot of fans are going to ask, like, why didn't we do this? Why didn't we do that? And them, like every other team, went into this process and looked ad nauseum at every possible thing you could consider different color face mask. Actually, believe it or not, I think it was Kaylin Jackson, the chief brand officer and one of the owners of the Colts, in the behind-the-scenes video that she was doing for a Colts podcast on their site. She said, we actually had a completely different direction, and we were pushing forward with it. And then we realized, you know what, maybe we don't do this. Let's go the other way. And then they came out with this. So it does make me like wonder like how much more they considered for this. Yeah. Because if you're really putting in and looking at all these different assets to come into this type of uniform, man, it almost makes me like I feel bad asking like what would it look like with the white face mask. I bet they know. And they feel like they had a good reason to keep it like this.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's a very good point.
For me, I do believe it's a huge improvement from their Indiana Knights. Jerseys and everything. I think it's really good. I think white on the face mask would have made the rest of the helmet seem more complete. The white logo and the white hardware on the back with a white face mask would have been really cool. It bothers me that the logo doesn't match the logo on the sleeve, although I am jealous that they got a raised patch on the sleeve. I've been talking about that for a while. I really wanted that TriStar logo or the monogram
secondary
Tennessee
logo.
Secondary logo would have been sweet, but alas we did not get that. I like how the stripes on their shoulder if I remember right, this is a terrible picture to kind of judge these off of, but if I remember right, it has the dots of the logo. Yeah, it kind of almost takes the path of the logo itself, which I thought was pretty nice little touch, because the horseshoe is how you know the Colts. I mean, that is the Colts. I thought it would have been cool having that blue helmet and then the black face mask if the jersey was inverted and the percentages of the color use, like have more of their known blue and then have black accents that way. But overall, I think it's a good one. I think it was a bit of a safe move. Very Colts. Their regular uniforms are very safe, I think. Good. Here's the thing. Safe is not bad. Safe is like, if it's a very simple, clean, crisp uniform, you have a good uniform in my book. So safe is not a bad thing. But there are some things that I would have liked to see. Being the white face mask. But in general, I think it's a pretty good uniform. It is actually my favorite of those three.
There you go.
Okay. All right. So is it time for the star of the show for the Titan sector fans?
Yes.
Enough about those guys.
Yeah. Right.
I've had enough today.
There we go, man.
God, yes.
Let's let him rip. Let's let Zach rip on this one.
All right, Zach, what's your thoughts, man?
I think this might be my favorite helmet of the batch this year. There's some people who don't like when it's a light helmet shell over a darker uniform, but I think it just works so well because you have enough dark features on the helmet. Like you have the logo predominantly navy, the face mask is navy, which could have been a miss, but it's not. And then you have the stripe. The six string stripe. Try saying that.
That's tough.
Fast. Yeah,
that's tough.
Right down the middle. That's also dark, so it's not like the Titans blue is too overpowering. And then you have the rest of the uniform, and the only thing I'm just not sure about is the fluorescent design in the numbers. I think the font is cool. I like that it's a Titans blue. It's just like. Is it good? I guess that's really what it is. There's no more technical way to put it. Is it good? But I love this uniform. I think it's great. The Music City script word mark right there is fantastic. Yeah. The way that it's still similar enough to their new uniforms allows them to push this identity forward with their new identity. A lot of these other uniforms that we got, they're very different from the team's main set, so it's going to feel like a whole different thing. It's very easy for people to just kind of look at this uniform, I would imagine, that are Titans fans and think, well, it's all one set. I don't consider it a rivalry set. That's our Navy uniform. And who knows, maybe this becomes their permanent Navy away set. They only have two uniforms right now. Well, three, I guess, technically, the different pairings of the pants and whatnot.
Right.
But man, I love this. I thought, dude, look at this art to go with it. It's just so good. I give them mad props all around. This came out really nicely. If you had told me that they were gonna do a Navy helmet shell, I don't know if I would like it as much, because I just think the amount of Titans blue throughout the uniform, the jersey, the pants, and compared to you have the socks and the helmet being predominantly Titans blue, almost rounding it out like a sandwich, And I think that's a weird comparison to make, but it allows the Titans blue to perfectly complement the Navy. So I'm a fan of this. The only thing I don't like about this is that they have to wear these Music City, these nice little Broadway night uniforms in the middle of the day.
Yeah, that's been a running joke across the Titans Twitter.
Yeah, it's very true. It is very true.
If they had a primetime game, I would have been there in a heartbeat.
Yeah, these would look sick under the lights, I think. And personally, I agree. The thing about the Navy helmet shell, I never thought that the Titans would go back to that. We just got rid of it, and we got rid of it after, I think, some probably fan polling from the ownership and also fan feedback over the years about coming off the whites to a Navy that just wasn't completely received well with that uniform kit that they had. So I really didn't think they'd ever go back to that. I didn't know what to expect with the helmet shell on the rivalries, but man, I'll tell you, this one, I can't wait to get a hands on it and like put it in this case or something, because it's a beautiful helmet. I love what they did, like you said, with the logo and the contrast. I also, just in full transparency, was kind of on the fence about that, through seeing really good mock-ups that I'd seen online, really good mock-ups that TJ did with contrasting colors of that same logo, not the secondary logo, but our logo, but in different colors. I was like, I don't know if I like that or not, and seeing it in real life today, I was like, man, the way they married that with the 6-string stripe. Oh, got it. It was,
there you go.
Was only because you said it first, was I think it's really successful, man. I think it is a beautiful helmet. And I understand what you're saying on the numbers. Quick question there. Do you recall anything in your, history of number aesthetics through maybe MLB, NBA, or NFL? Do you recall anything that these kind of mimic?
Yeah, but not in football. The first thing I thought of was the Blue Jays had a City Connect uniform for a minute. I think it was their City Connect. Pretty much identical. Yeah, they had the Titans blue, and then that, were you asking me like you knew that, or okay.
Well, that's what they reminded me of.
Okay.
That's what they reminded me of. I have a big Blue Jays fan in my friend's base, and immediately when I saw them in this presentation, that's where my mind went.
Okay, good. I wasn't sure if you were like wondering, or if, I didn't know it was a quiz. I'm glad
it's both. I wanted to see if I was in line there with that thought process, but I agree with you. It's, to me, I think the number is the riskiest thing they did on the entire jersey, and I'm cool with that. Because like I'd rather be this than the Jaguars and have to explain myself into liking some crazy stretch of an imagination on jerseys, but. Yeah, I really like it. TJ, what do you think, man?
Yeah, so I like it a lot. Obviously, there's a bias in there. I was happy to see the woodblock numbers, maybe because they've been working on this for 3 years. Maybe they anticipated that they were going to do this on this, and that's why they went classic on our new uniforms earlier in the year. I actually don't mind the drop shadow. I usually hate drop shadows, but it looks good. I don't think I see neon lights when I see this, but whatever, that kind of is what it is. When I saw the one video where they revealed it to the players and I saw the words pop up in different colors, I instantly sampled that to kind of take a look to see what they were going to do. And sure enough, the gray did make an appearance on here. So it's metallic here, but it's obviously hard to do in vector, but I think that looks great. I think it's awesome. Kind of contrast. This thing's been doing the blue dress thing to me for about a week now. Like I've been like, black. It's black. That one in the middle, it still looks very black to me, but it's definitely blue. So I've been like going back and forth, like trying to.
Yeah, it's very much of a trick of the eye.
Yeah, you know what? For it's funny because there were some Titans, the photo shoot that they released in the photo galleries. That's where I go immediately. I don't even look at social media. Like the second 10 a.m. drop today, I had every single team's photo gallery linked. And that's where I went to look at the uniforms the first time. Easy to pull, and also you get different angles. The Titans had a lot of these images where the colors were muted. I don't know I don't really know why, but it looked black. Like it didn't look like it was black, or even like a dark gray. And now that I think about it, let me run through it real quick. I mean, Bears, Packers, Lions, Vikings, Titans, Jaguars, Texans, Colts. No one's really going to be, maybe the Colts jersey, but last year we had like 3 teams that were black but weren't really black. We're not getting that this year. There's a lot more pop of color, even in the helmets too. Riddell dropped like the composite of all the helmets, and then I tweeted about them compared to the ones from last year. So much more color this year. Last year, every single one was like a white or a dark black, dark like navy shade. This year, having like a Titans blue, even a teal Jaguars one, even as ill-fated as it might be compared with the rest of its uniform. Like I'm so happy that we're getting this pop of color. The one question, I guess 2 small things here that I was wondering about is, would you guys have preferred the Titan shell to be a different finish? Because I think, and again, I have to really go through this to see, this might be them and the Bears might be the only teams with a standard gloss shell finish. Let's see. The Packers. I think the Packers might actually be Matt. The Vikings. The Vikings. I don't know, but the Titans and the Bears.
I don't remember what the Vikings was.
Yeah. And I know like teams like the Falcons got a lot of flack for not making their helmet shell gloss again. And they straight up told me it's because the lights, the flare of the lights, like cameras in stadium, like it's much more visible in a gloss, and it kind of distracts from, the rest of the uniform and the helmet. So I think it's kind of nice having a gloss shell finish on this because it makes the lights stand out. And the whole point paired with the fluorescent style numbers, it makes it feel like, all right, you actually are standing in Broadway at a Music City night. One other thing I found cool was how, even if you look in the numbers, specifically that 8 on Jeffrey Simmons, you could see the fluorescent lights. They don't touch. They go over each other, just like
that's a nice
normal fluorescent lights. They had to make a custom font and custom style for every single number, and I thought that was a really nice touch.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I agree with TJ to some regard in the fact that it's like it doesn't immediately stand out that, oh yeah, that's what that is. Like if you're not a fan of the Titans or you don't follow this stuff and you're just a casual fan, you tune in, you probably don't just pick up, oh, that's that's fluorescent lights.
Yeah.
But that's probably hard to capture if I'm being honest. And I think seeing these on the field, in my opinion, I still kind of want to see him on the field to see how I feel about the numbers. I love the concept. I love the idea, be it that I lived in Nashville for so long, spent time there. One thing I told TJ that I loved before you came on was the fact that the vibrating strings, right? How they pulled that off and the ingenuity behind that was so cool to me.
Oh my God.
Because you think about it, like our normal uniform kits is just straight string. Well, if you're in Nashville, when does music actually start playing? It's at nighttime. So the fact that they connected the two, that hey, at night these uniforms are at night, that's when the guitar strings are actually humming. I loved that. I loved that creativity by that team.
I need to know who came up with that so I can shake their hand, because that was such a cool little thing that I did not pick up on my first go around, even second go around of looking at the uniforms. I just posted a video an hour before this of my favorite details about each uniform, and that was it. That's just like such a cool thing, because we think that this 6-string stripe is now standard for the Titans uniforms, and then they come up with something just a little bit different, a little more amplified, literally on the new uniform. I think
it's risky too, because it worked.
Yeah,
it's like when you zoom in and see it, it literally looks like a vibrating string.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what impressed me the most, is that it actually looked good in fabric. That's what surprised me.
The last thing I'll say about these is I'm willing to bet that, and we're kind of looping back to the numbers here, but it's something I can't get out of my mind. I'm like, what if the inside stripe was navy? I bet they looked at that, and I bet, I have no inside source on this, I bet it made it to the TV phase, and that's when they realized, okay, the numbers look a little too thin, like it's drowning out that Titans blue. So we either ditch it or we make it,
Yeah,
white.
Smart.
So,
That's
but
smart.
I love them, man. I thought these are really good.
Yeah, we're excited about it, man. I think it's been such a roller coaster this offseason for Titans fans, going through all of the changes, coming off of 2 of the worst seasons that we've experienced in, the Tennessee phase of our history. And this is really cool. And the thing that I love that you said too is that, they kind of fit into our closet, and it's not something that just is so abnormal that when you see it, it strikes a different chord, for lack of a better term, in your mind. It just looks like it's a part of who we are and our identity as a team. So for that part, in the totality of the package, which, like you said, these people and these teams have been working on this for a really long time. And not only in the Titans organization working on the rivalries, but like you told us in the first pod, they were working on the regular uniforms for a long time. So they really did a good job of marrying all these things together. And also creating some unique identity to it. So, I'm stoked to see him on the field against the Jaguars. It's gonna be fun.
Love it. All right, man, Zach. So we're just going to transition to what do you got going on? You got anything to plug? Your social?
I'm gonna take a nap.
Where can people?
I'm gonna go to bed.
Yeah, that should be number
a dose
one
of melatonin after the pod.
6 out of respect to Jane Daniels.
That's great.
So good.
Well played.
Thank you. I got a lot more, I just really want to dive into these a lot more. And the conversation is going to keep on coming throughout this season for sure, especially as like our perspective on them changes once we see them on the field. There's new content from the teams, new intel. But I think for the rest of the week, I'll probably try to put out at least a video a day on my socials. Same handle as always, at Zach Cohen FB. It's kind of like I told you guys before the show. Like, I'm always getting asked, like, oh, what have you heard about these new uniforms or whatnot? I have a good feeling the next couple months are going to be relatively quiet on that front. But then again, last year I was expecting it to be quiet, and then bang, it all blew up in a month. And, we've just kind of been nonstop since then. It really has not been an off season for me. But I love that. And I love that for anyone who else loves uniforms, So I'm going to continue talking about them as long as people care. I've always said that, like, I didn't really think that many people cared that much about this part of sports, and yet here we are talking about it. So I appreciate you guys giving me the platform to come on here and talk about it, promote what I'm doing, because I'm just going to keep talking about uniforms, man. A little more college football this year, probably.
Yeah.
And we'll just react to a lot of NFL games and just kind of tell these stories I've been wanting to tell and talk to as many people as I can, see what people feel like.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Hey, throw that graphic off. Get us back into the three-way here as we close off. One thing that I want to just help plug your socials for a second to any Titans fan that's watching. I'm a big college football fan. And so Saturdays and Sundays, our family is working both angles, if you will. But one thing I love that you do is you cover, there's been so many new uniform releases on the college scene, and you cover those as well. I just saw one that Drake put out that looks pretty similar in colors to what we talked about.
Looks good though. Looks good.
It does look good, man.
Can't go wrong.
And the thing I'm proud of is there's no Drake fans in my mentions. I'm just going to say,
as far as you know.
As far as I know, yeah. But no, man, like, for you guys that are watching this, that are Titans fans, like, if you don't already, man, check Zach out on TikTok. His shorts game is excellent and very informative, just to keep you on the top of all the trends. And also on X, like he said, Zach Cohen FB. So, man, we appreciate you again for coming by, carving out time. And we got to keep this thing stringing along, pun intended, for the Titans uniforms. When we see them on the field, we'd love to have you back and just have a short pod talking about it. So, carve out some time in the future for us as well.
Always for you guys. I appreciate coming on, talking about all this stuff with y'all. Great host as always. Glad we, dodged the Houston, Tennessee feud here, which again, I have no opinions on.
None at all.
But this was
Wait
great.
till we tag you in that Twitter post or X post.
Oh, dude, please don't. I feel bad because, like, I really try to, like, look at every comment and mention, but, like, I had at least like 2 million impressions today. I feel bad for people who've been tagging me for a while. So I feel whoever this the person you said was, I really am sorry. I don't know what I did, but
you did nothing.
Sorry,
you did nothing at all.
Okay, well, appreciate you guys having me on.
Thank you, man. That means a lot. TJ, you got anything before we head out?
No, man. Yeah, I just like Van said, we appreciate you cutting out the time and talking. I love this stuff. I'm obsessed with this stuff. I don't quite have the platform you do, but I nerd out over it pretty much obsessively. Van's probably tired of getting texts about it, so appreciate you coming on here and talking shot with us, man. It's fun.
It's fun when I get a text from, like, my grandpa, like, oh, these Dolphins uniforms are so bad. I'm like, I agree. Dark's not their color.
I remember that. I kind of agree with that. I'm just going to be honest.
Me too. Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the Titan Sector again. We hope you guys have enjoyed Zach and all the content and information. It's a new, exciting era of Tennessee Titan football, regardless of what's happened or hasn't happened on the field yet. We're going to look good doing it either way, so that's pretty cool. But we appreciate you guys' support so much. As a quick reminder, while you're here, hit that like and subscribe button. It's totally free for you. Helps out our content and our algorithm, just get in front of more fan bases, not only our own, but across the NFL, because we like those interactions, including the ones we had today with some of our AFC South brethren. So help us out there. You can find us on X at the Titan Sector and also on TikTok at the.titan.sector. And then also check out our pods, typically coming out Mondays and Thursdays, 8 a.m. Central, 9 a.m. Eastern. But we love this one so much, we're dropping it tomorrow for you guys at Wednesday. So, hey, be on the lookout for more guests and more content coming forward. We appreciate all of you. And as always, remember, take care of each other. Titans.